What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes. Today what we're doing is we're looking at the Overdose clone from Fast Tech on the Fast Tech website. This thing's about 23 bucks, okay? It's really, really cheap. Takes a little bit of time to get it on the boat from Singapore and all that stuff. But if you're on a budget and you're trying to get a mod that hits hard, you can do it. So that's what I'm trying to prove in this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this thing to the Copper Cartel clone, which costs anywhere from 2 to 3 times the amount of this, and everybody knows that it hits pretty well. So we're going to compare the two, see how it hits, and see if you can get a good mod for about 20 bucks, all right? I already know the answer to it, but do you, my friends? So we're going to go in. We'll take a look at it, take it apart, all that good stuff. I'll tell you kind of what I did to it and the work that I had to do to it in order to get it working well, okay? So let's take it in. We'll get up close with it, do some voltage drop tests, and see how it hits, and then we'll come right back, okay, guys? Going in, my friends. All right, so here it is up close. This is the Overdose clone. This is the Fast Tech clone. Got the Doge atomizer on here with those big air holes. You're going to see that coming up pretty soon. Right now, we're going to take this off. Spin that guy off of there so we can look at this mod, okay? Got a little bit of juice on there. The top of it does not look bad, you know? It's pretty decent, you know? It says Masterpiece Custom Vapes on it. It's got a little bit of airflow if you got bottom fed airflow, I guess. It's all copper. The pin in there is copper as well. And I think it's a pretty clean looking mod. The bottom button of it, I guess that's an Overdose logo. I guess that's what it is. I haven't really figured it out. Kind of looks like, you know, faces in there or helmets or something, man. If you know what that is, comment below because it's been freaking me out for a while now, man. But it's clean. Like, it just feels comfortable in your hand to hold. It's about the size of a Nemesis, you know. It's nice, fairly small, easy to hold, easy to grip, kind of conceal. Fills your fist well just in case you need to punch somebody with it. The engraving is okay. You know, it's got the Overdose in it. This one says by MCV Dillapines. It's not a P, it's a D on there, if you can kind of see that. Dillapines. Anyway, this is serial number 387. It's got some ventilation in the top of this thing. One single hole, and that's it. Okay? Opening it up. Take the VTC out of there. We'll take a look at this top cap, okay? Top cap, it's a top cap, you know? The copper patina is very easy on this mod, and when I got it, it was dirty. I've given this thing a good polishing for you guys, and this is about as clean as it's ever gonna be. The threading, I didn't really tidy up that much because I just went over it, you know, kind of quickly, just to show it to you, right? But it will patina quite a bit. The threading on the upper top cap is not too bad. It's not too bad, and when I got it, it was actually fairly clean on this guy. The tube, however, was kind of brutal, but we'll get into that once we cross that bridge. You can take this thing apart. It's got a little Delrin insert that your pin screws into. This is press fit in here. It does not come out. Like, I guess you could force it out, but, you know, easily without pliers and stuff, it does not come out of there. Okay. The pin itself is a 2-piece pin. It's got a battery adjustment as the lower bit. And it comes apart, drops on the floor. Let me pick that up. But yeah, really little tiny pin. This one had like a little bump, like a little nipple on it, and I had to polish it up a little bit. You could do that with really fine sandpaper or I use like a polishing stone that I have. I have this really smooth polishing stone, and then I just kind of scrub that against it, you know, just to get rid of that nipple and get a nice contact on it. The other half of this just threads in there, and that makes contact with your atomizer. All right, try and screw this back together, this little tiny guy here. Try and sort that out, something like that. We'll have to adjust it for our battery once again. Screws in there. But yeah, the top cap itself is not too bad. It's actually pretty clean threading in there. It's not too shabby at all. One thing I did have problems with, I'm going to take this bottom off here. This is your lock, okay? Do this real quick. Locking ring, it's locked. Pretty much a half turn, and it's unlocked, which is really cool. Half turn, locked, half turn, unlocked. Really, really easy to lock and unlock. Tube. It's, you know, it's not super thick, but it's decent, you know, for like a $23 mod, it's not too bad. But the burr in this thing was brutal, and I spent probably about 4 hours trying to clean it up, and there's still little tiny spots in here that I couldn't get rid of. Like in here, there's little tiny bits that are a part of the threading where the grooves come up that I didn't really want to dig out too much because I didn't want to notch those threads out, you know? But it was pretty brutal when I got this, and I did spend quite a bit of time cleaning those threads up just to get them to this point right here, okay? Other side, same thing. I think the top of it wasn't as bad as the bottom, but it was pretty bad as well, okay? But yeah, some really gnarly chunks in there that could have been arcing. Actually, I see one right here. Maybe I can clean that up a little while I'm here. But you know what? You could take a $23 mod and make it hit pretty decent. Pretty decent, okay? Put that tube over here. Take a look at this bottom switch. As you saw, this is how it locks, unlocks. Half turn, locks it. Half turn, unlocks it. Pretty sweet. And the throw on it is decent. Like, it's a nice short throw. Really nice short throw on this guy. Decent little button. One thing that it's missing is there's no O-ring. You know, like, it'd be nice if there was... Well, that's not a good O-ring. It was just on the table. But something in there just so that your battery isn't going to make... Because the only thing that's, you know, keeping your battery from auto-firing is that ring and hopefully, you know, the wrapper on your battery. If you've got a ripped battery wrapper, it could be auto-firing pretty easily on this guy. So it would have been nice to see an O-ring in this. And I'm sure I could rig one up, you know, as you could as well. Let's pull this thing apart, okay? Bottom contact, same thing as the top. Had a nipple on it that was gnarly, and I was getting a really bad black spot on it. And I just filed that down a little bit, made it nice and smooth, so when it fired, even contact against the bottom of my battery, okay? Bottom of it just threads into that screw right here. This whole thing falls apart. There's a spring in here, and it's actually not too bad. I've been using this, low resistance, and it hasn't collapsed. Like, it's a little brown right here where it looks like it's kind of scorched a little bit, but for the most part, the spring's not too bad. The bottom button right here, just a threaded post on there. That's it, pretty simple design. And then your lock ring spins off here. And there were some pretty gnarly burrs inside of here as well. Like right now, looking at it, you can kind of see like weird little chunkies in here. It's not the prettiest threading, you know, by any means. It really isn't. But you can clean those up enough that you can get this working pretty well, okay? Budget mod, you can make this rock and roll. And I'm going to show you. We'll do a voltage drop test with the Copper Cartel clone, because that Copper Cartel clone hits pretty well, in my opinion, and a lot of people dig the way that that thing hits. So we're going to see if it hits pretty close. I did spend a lot of time cleaning this up. I've been using this mod pretty much every day for the last 3 weeks. And we're going to try this out. Let's do a voltage drop test. I've got a K-Fun with like a 0.7 ohm build in it. Maybe I got a fresh battery. Yeah, I do. I got a fresh battery here. Let's drop that in. Where's the voltage meter? Here it is. Inline voltmeter. It's not the most exact science, but it's going to give us an idea of how one hits compared to the other. Okay. Might have to adjust that battery rattle out a bit. Wow, how perfect was that? Okay, how's she hitting? This battery's hitting 4.16, 416, 415, maybe 417. We'll go 416, okay? Where's the K-Fun? So the K-Fun has a build in it that's, I think it was 0.76 ohm, okay? So let's see where this guy hits. Wow. 395, 393. Not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. Okay, let's put this on the Copper Cartel clone, because I know that guy hits well, and I've used it a bunch. And we'll see how that guy works. Trying to speed through this for you guys. I think I got this dialed in. Pretty close here. No battery. All right. So in essence, this has the silver-plated copper pins on it. It should hit a little bit harder. In essence, it should. Will it? I don't know. I haven't tried. There's a little bit of a gap there. Let's seal that gap. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference, but we'll do it anyway. Make it fair. Make everything tight. Like a tiger. There we go. All right, so the battery should still hit around 416, and it does. What did the other one hit at? Around 393? It was hitting pretty well, right? 395, 393, something like that. Wow. This hits so much better, or the Overdose hits so much better. That one went up a little higher. Wow, I think the Overdose takes it. Yeah. 388. So we're calling that 388. Copper Overdose was hitting a little bit harder. Not like a big deal. You're probably not going to notice that much of a difference in it. But it does. And the Cartel is a nice hitting mod. Like, it hits really, really well. So the Copper Overdose takes it, and it's proof positive that, you know, a $23 mod, once tidied up, can hit pretty well, okay? This guy was about, I think I paid $58 for it. You can get these anywhere from like $56 up to about $73, something like that. So, you know, this is about a third of the price, all right? So keep that in mind. Third of the price on a budget, you can get yourself a hard-hitting mod. Let's take it out and have a vape off the Overdose clone. Damn, okay, it hits really, really good, my friends. It's proof positive that you can get a relatively cheap mod and make it work really, really well for you, okay? $23. $23, you got a mod that hits as well as most other copper mods, okay? And I know a lot of people don't care about how things hit, but if you're watching this channel, you probably do, my friends, okay? So there was some work that I had to do to this thing to get it hitting the way that it does, okay? When I got it, it was patinaed like hell, man. It was brutal. I polished it up. Once I started cleaning this thing up with some Twinkle silver polish, that's what I used to clean my mods, I noticed that the threads were pretty dirty on it and pretty chunky. They had burrs in it. I started working on those with a wire brush. I took an SOS pad and started kind of cleaning them out. I even took a pick, like a little tiny pick, and started trying to gouge out any of the chunky burrs. But if you're doing that, you got to be pretty careful not to take a big chunk of the threading out, because you could cause a spot that might arc, okay? So be careful if you are doing that. The pins, the contacts themselves, had little nipples on them that I had to kind of polish out to get a nice flat surface to have it hit as well as it possibly could. But it can be done. And I'm a little bit freaked out because it did hit better than the Copper Cartel. And that Copper Cartel hits pretty well. And like I said, that thing's, you know, anywhere from like 56 to about $74-ish wherever you go. This is 23 bucks, okay? And this hits better than a lot of authentics out there, my friends. So, proof positive, for a cheap, low price, you can get a mod that hits well. Batteries are going to be a big part of it, right? I'm using the Sonys, the VTCs while I still can. And I've got a Doge with a, you know, dual 22 gauge parallel build in this. It's Canthal. And I'm digging it. It vapes pretty well. Let me have a hit. But you can get it hitting nice, okay? Not a bad mod. A lot of work to get it going. Took me like at least 3 hours to get it to where I liked. It does patina pretty easily, okay? So you're going to have to polish this quite often. But as long as you can keep the threads clean, keep the contacts clean, you should be okay. It doesn't matter what the outside is going to look like. I just like it looking really nice and clean. That's just me, guys. So that's it for me. That was the Overdose video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be back with another one coming up real soon, my friends. Like I always say, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it. And you, my friend, right there, you're going to have a stellar day, my friend. I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Take her easy, my friends. Fogged out.